Last video where we talked about Orson Welles and the War of the Worlds, I mentioned the ventriloquist act that was the main draw on radio that night, but I failed to really highlight how important that was. The Mercury Theater on the air was actually broadcast opposite of the Chase and Sanborn hour. This was a variety show by the Chase and Sanborn Coffee Company to advertise their product. The main draw on that show was Edgar Bergen and his ventriloquist dummy, Charlie McCarthy. When Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy took a break from their comedy bit, it went to a musical interlude. While that musical interlude was happening, everyone started fiddling with their dials, and then they came across what they assumed to be a real radio report. Because War of the Worlds was actually told through a series of fake radio reports rather than actual character interactions per se, the narrative is done by fake radio reports, so everybody that came in the middle of that show missed the beginning intro that gave context that this was an adaptation of an H.G. Wells novel. This is a radio play. This is not a real broadcast. So everybody tuning in just so that they could be entertained in this block of time before the next Edgar Bergman and Charlie McCarthy skit came back on. They came across a fake news broadcast and were terrified. Of course, after that, Orson Welles became a reoccurring guest on the Chase and Sanborn hour with Edgar Bergman and Charlie McCarthy, with the dummy constantly making jokes about Orson Welles being a pompous genius. And of course, because some of that genius was caused by the conflicting schedules of their show. Critic Alexander Woollcott sent Orson Welles a telegram that said, "This only goes to prove, my beamish boy, that all the geniuses were watching the dummy and all the dummies were watching you."